Oh my gosh, what did you do?
What I do?
Yeah, look at that.
I would not leave it a mess like that.
Why?
Because I just wouldn't.
Looks like somebody took a bunch of crap apart and just left a big old pile here on my toolbox.
I know. Who could that be?
Probably you.
No.
Yeah.
I wasn't even
So
out
what'd
here.
you do?
Well, looks like I made some kind of mess that I didn't even know about.
Yeah, and?
And
what was the result?
Look. Ta-da!
Oh, look at all those bodies. I recognize a bunch of them. They're from the last video.
Yeah, my flea market finds.
Oh, well, so let's go and take a look at them from right to left. You're right.
Am I right?
Yeah. So what do you got there?
Looks like the little, what is that, a 1/10 scale?
What is it?
Jeep?
Let's go.
It's a Jeep.
It says so on the fender.
It's a Jeep.
All right. So we'll take a look at this, and it is a Jeep.
Oh, Liberty.
Liberty.
Gotcha.
All right. So, like I said in the last video, it's more like a maybe 1/12. Maybe not a 1/16, but 1/12 scale.
1/12.
And I only have like 2 crawler chassis right now. So, and over here are the chassis. One would be my favorite truck, the Vetera, which is the shortest of the wheelbase, and it will not even come close.
Not really.
As you can see. So, in order to use this body, I would have to get something a whole lot shorter, even though this this chassis will shorten up only by one more hole. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, one more hole. It will not shorten up enough for that. So, this may need to be for a future project. So, for now, let's stick it up there. And believe me, this is not the rummage pile. Well, it is, but it isn't. Because, man, look at the bumpers on these things. I mean, they're incredible.
That's crazy.
Some of you might be thinking, I'm just going to throw that stuff away. But no, I'm not. I'm going to save it because I will use it for something. Right? I mean, that bumper, this bumper, that bumper. I mean, that in itself, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, do something with it.
All right. So what we got next?
Next is your Mustang body that you ordered.
Yes, I ordered a Mustang body. Ended up being like a Tyco body, so I paid way too much for it.
I like the one red mirror.
$40. Paid for it, and so what does it fit?
Sorta.
So it needs to be what? Sort of longer?
Sorta longer.
Sort of shorter. So you remember what I was going to do with this one?
Make it a post-apocalyptic, badass
Mad Max type
Mad Max,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still going to do that. And I will film it, but you may not see it as it happens, because there's going to be a lot going into this. Obviously, it's going to be a different chassis, which, by the way, this chassis has been claimed by like 3 different companies. It's all aluminum. It's the original SCX10. I put the sliders on right here, but TFL has claimed it as theirs, and who is it? Extra Speed has claimed it as theirs. Although in this model, which is the same dang thing, there's nobody claiming anything. So there's no logos on it. There's no Extra Speed logos. There's no TFL logos. It has no logos on it at all. But if a person does the research on the internet, you'll find the same truck with the carbon fiber frame rail and battery tray. You know, anywhere between 289 and 3 something.
Wow.
So, and this truck is really heavy, given that it has the carbon fiber frame rails and battery tray. It really doesn't make a difference, especially when it comes to everything else on it is aluminum. Okay, it's extremely capable. Have had some shock issues with it. They like to stick. Like, I mean, I already pushed down on them, but if it sat around for a day or so, it would stick, and it wouldn't want to move. Like right now, it will. So, only thing I can see that I would do different with it would be put different shocks on it. All right. Okay. So what's next?
So I'm putting this back here. I'm not putting it on the pile.
Yep. This is a later project car.
The Hummer.
The Hummer.
The Humdinger.
What do you think that one fits?
Well, let's go see. Hey.
Pretty darn close, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, there would be some rub. I mean, when it's all mounted, it would all, you know, it would sit down a little bit lower. So, but it's a pretty close match. Especially when you look at the back. It's got, right now, it's got the RC four-wheel drive extension for the bumper. So, really, the frame ends right about here. You can see my finger right there. So in reality, this would probably be the best fit for the chassis we have. There's plenty of room for the drivetrain, like right in here. However, if you wanted to go with scale and put an interior in and all that, all this stuff would get in the way, which is a big drawback of a lot of the big companies that put that stuff in the middle. Personally, I would much rather just move everything up here, get this servo off the axle. It's really starting to bug me to have servos on the axle. You ever see a car with a big ass servo on the front axle?
Can't say I have.
Or a truck? Me neither. The Vatera does not. It has an axle on the frame. Okay, so you don't see it down on the axle.
Servo.
Alright, so there you go.
Put that back in the lineup.
Yep.
The SSR.
The Chevy SS pickup.
Let's see. Let's go for this one.
I think that'll be it. Alright, so let's take a look. Pretty close. Probably needs to be a little bit shorter, huh?
Yeah.
Unless you're doing a mud runner and need that them wheels way out front.
I think it looks kind of cool how it is.
Except it's not really sitting on there, so.
You could modify it.
Well, I could, but I also have come to have a irritation level for body posts, so.
Oh.
Anyway, so we're going to need a shorter one for that one too. So the Mustang and the SS are going to need a shorter chassis for that.
And the Jeep.
And definitely this guy. Alright, here's the Rubicon. Rubicon is kind of a cool vehicle. It's got like opening doors. It's got a full interior, right?
That is cool.
The top comes off.
Nice. Kind of like the Jeep I want.
And my plans for this season, going to be doing like some roll bar work, tube work, painting of that sort, which would go along with the Mad Max Mustang. That's, I think we're going to call it that. Mad Max Mustang. So let's see what that would fit. A little too long. I think this is considered to handle 275 millimeter wheelbase, and this one here is a 313. And let's try it on here. these are not going to fit perfect, but they'll give you an idea of what. And it looks pretty darn close with the Vatera. The only problem is there again, it's right here.
Right here.
Where the motor sits is in the middle on the Vatera, and it needs to be up here. Okay, so if I could take this and put it up here, move this battery tray back, then it would be this would be a perfect chassis for this.
That'd look good.
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right.
Back in the lineup.
And your last one is
my Jeep.
your Jeep. Actually, this Jeep is made by Hasbro. So putting G.I. Joes in it is actually pretty darn close. Since Hasbro, G.I. Joe.
Yep. That's what I was thinking.
So let's see if any of our chassis fit that one.
Huh.
Now that one's going to take some modification. Can you take a look on your side and tell me why?
Yeah, because this is right there and it doesn't fit.
Okay, so if the camera will pick it up, if you look right down up in there, you see a huge engine compartment just waiting to be used. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to cut this whole area right here out so the engine compartment can fit. And here again, the motor transmission in the center will not work. It has to be up here. Actually, what it'll have to be is engine, transmission, receiver, and speed controller will all have to be up here to fit under here. Not even close.
I thought it was good for a lap.
So apparently the chassis I have won't work for pretty much anything I have here body wise, but if you take a look at the diverse differences in bodies right now, you just move these over so I can make room. Alright, so the Jeep Liberty, definitely going to need something smaller. The Mad Max Mustang, that's a very special project, and I paid way too much for it because it's pretty obviously it's a Nyko body or Tyco.
And it's used.
And I paid $40 for it, right? And you paid $5 for all the rest of them.
Yeah.
However, I was looking for something to do a post-apocalyptic type theme with, and the Mustang looked like to me that it fit best. The Hummer, okay, I can buy this Hummer polycarbonate probably about $45, but you got a bunch of trucks for $5.
Yep.
So that's a great deal right there. This almost pays for the rest of them. This one, need a little bit shorter chassis. This one, I paid way too much for. And you're not going to make up for it. I mean, it's like $79, so whether it was worth that, I don't know.
We'll see.
And then you got the G.I. Joe Jeep.
Yep.
It was just called G.I. Joe Jeep. G.I. Joe Jeep, it's got a lot of possibilities. It's got a really big engine compartment right in here underneath the hood. This does unscrew and come off. I can cut right here with the Dremel and separate these two so I can glue the dash part down and have this hinge up. This netting right here is for a spare tire they don't have, but you know, we can, or cargo. So I may just fill all these holes in right here. Go from there. But I do see a lot of possibilities here. This is going to take a bit of time. It's going to take a lot of fabrication work and some painting. Since it's made by Hasbro, it's obviously made to handle the standard G.I. Joe. So
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it will. However, the chassis on this one, if we're going to go scale on it, it's got to be all leaf spring. This one can be coil over, or coil 4-link, because it was true to its time. This one, well, it was a 2-wheel drive, so we can have A-arm front suspension and I believe rear coil. And the Hummer, if I remember right, I think we can go with the 4-link on this one. And the Mustang is just going to be use your imagination and see where it goes. Alright, and the Jeep Liberty, well, that's just sitting here. Okay. Either way, we got a bunch that we can work with. It's going to be an exciting spring, going to be an exciting summer. So join us on this adventure of putting all these together. So this is Kelly with RC Mechanic saying, if you liked what you've seen today, hit that like button, subscribe, and Bettina's Crafts, Bettina, when she gets a video up, I hope you all go and see her. So with that, I would just say, go out and do something, even if it's wrong. No, maybe not wrong. Don't do something wrong.
Do it right.
Do it right. Just have fun doing it, and don't break no laws, and there you are.